Hey, junior parents, what's going on? It's Mr. Price. Besides just sending you out the letter that you received email, I left this link to this YouTube video so maybe you can kind of hear what's in the letter or maybe see. Pretty sure most of you just maybe listen for a little bit. You don't have to look at me. um, Can't wait for the school year to start, which is next Thursday. I am the APUSH teacher, and you've probably heard about the course. Now, one thing that probably is not really settled at this time on this Friday morning is that maybe the exact final schedule, but it should be pretty much in there. What your son or daughter will be having is APUSH on Tuesdays and Thursdays classroom time. That's of course remote learning, and every other Friday. I alternate between Miss Maryland in English 3 as far as scheduled time for when they have classes to meet, even if it's remotely. So remember that it's not every day, it's every other day. Why? Because they are taking state classes, even though this year it's online. They have other classes. They have an ED course with Miss McGregor. They have other things they're trying to integrate. Traditionally, I know you would be on campus physically, going to classes here and there, but we want to make sure they have success in all their classes, but particularly their state classes, so they can continue on to take North Carolina state classes. That's part of the reason why they're to break out that material. They have biology, engineering, design every day. Now with remote learning, that may not entail meeting always remotely, for each classroom time, but your schedule for classroom time, that's when you will meet. Me, Mr. Price with APUSH, will be mostly always meeting for at least a time period of an hour or more right there remotely video, because most of my class has always been traditionally lecture oriented and kind of class discussion. It's not just me babbling, it's kids discussing, kids answering questions. Usually the end of class is a quiz. And I know you're saying, oh boy, that's going to be different. Yes, it will be. There will be time quizzes. There will be quizzes that I am actually observing what they're doing to make sure hopefully they're not, have a tendency to cheat on their quizzes as they take online. So that's usually my class, what it is, besides projects, besides doing some work like reading, looking at PowerPoints, examining the chapters, maybe getting some YouTube help. That's what it is. Yes, APUSH is a very challenging course, but this reputation is worse than the actual reality. The thing is, they say, oh, it's so hard, it's so tough. I've taught APUSH here. This will be the 6th year here teaching APUSH, and I taught APUSH 3 years before in the early 2000s. So it's nothing new to me, but I do not teach APUSH like I used to teach it, because students are integrating themselves onto North Carolina State courses in there as well. So you don't want to bog them down with all the, a melu or a plethora of chapters to read each night or each week. There will be outside readings, of course, but I have kind of, toned it down. Surprise, surprise. What they don't understand is that what they're really challenged about is the amount of material and the density. The kind of thing is, there's a lot of memory learning in APUSH US history. There's a lot of critical thinking, comparing and contrasting. A lot of things that how did this event lead up to the next event. There will be knowing the context of the times. That's where it becomes very challenging, and a lot of times on their first several assessments, they don't have the usual success. Any of the students that have already taken this course will kind of tell them this. They're just going to have to spend some time outside of class really trying to learn material if they want success. Please take the advice. I've had some seniors made a recording for them. Please take the advice from me. Please take the advice from others that you've heard and try to find that sweet spot where you are beginning to learn. A lot of times the first semester is an adjustment period for them, and they don't really start getting into the groove until second semester. On that note, that is thinking about people, probably some of the students like, well, it's remote learning. It's an online course. It is not an online course. It's an online class. See, in the springtime, and this is one thing I want to emphasize here in this video, a lot of students got to this, more in tune, and they kind of working on their own or working to their time constraints or their time schedule and getting things done. And sometimes I'm pretty sure some students did things probably the 30 minutes before something was due, and they kind of got used to that. And I think some of their expectations were a little bit lowered when they knew how it was going to be assessed, their fourth quarter and final grades. That is a total different picture for this fall. So parents, please understand, we're back to 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, that grading scale. We're back to definitely recording attendance and tardies, whether it be online class, remotely, or something for office hours, or meeting for remediation or supplemental classes. They should be ready at the beginning of class at that time. They should be there. And they should not be late. They should not be fiddling around with their technology. This is going to be a big challenge. I think in the springtime, understandably so, they got into some bad habits that's not going to help them for the fall or for this school year while we're learning remotely, or if you signed up for the Wake Academy. So you have to go. Parents, I want you to understand, please, I know it's going to be, really challenging for the first several weeks. Get up in the morning like you're getting up for school. And then, parents, please try to have them a nice, quiet workspace if you can. We don't all live in Tom Brady mansions where one of your kids can go to this room, another kid can go to that room, and they have this, nice little chair, nice little desk, and they can, attend their online classes. Understandably so. But try to make sure they're not laying in their beds. There's not, a lot of distractions and interruptions if you can. And because we want them to be, in a classroom, even though they may be at home. So please just try to do the best you can. And please communicate with me if there are some challenges. I've said this in a parent line, I don't need to know details. So you can tell me about why that may be a challenge to a certain point. Today, and uploading this video onto YouTube, I am sharing the 11th grade expectations for all teachers about remote learning. They should read it and understand it and kind of tell you, paraphrase, what are some of those main expectations that we're seeing. They should answer your questions. If they have questions, the time is now to reach out to any of the teachers or a specific teacher. You have a specific concern to see what is going on, and what I have a certain circumstance, or I'm still raising a question about this. Communication will be key as we're learning remotely. So it's very important that you contact the email. Give us 24 hours, time to respond to you. And in my case, a lot of kids will have my cell number or, remind, but it's best just to text me immediately when they have a concern, or even if you have a concern. Contact me any time and leave a message, and I will get back to you. Give me a chance, 24 hours, to see your email and respond. So, quiet place. It is a school day each and every day. unless it's a holiday, unless there's no classes or something, by Wake County's closed or something. That is something that, you have to try to get them to understand. That's what's going to be very hard. To be on time, do not be tardy, and, be very attentive and to make sure that you're doing your homework and your classwork in a timely way. They are going to probably, sometimes a few, not a lot, are going to say, well, Mr. Price, Miss Marilyn, Miss Johnson, everybody in the world assigned a test on a particular day, or we assigned 7 essays, 2 lab reports, 2 class projects, and it's all due and you're overwhelmed. That is not going to happen. It may be some type of exception that we didn't know looking at our calendars because there was a state class that had a test. We will adjust. That happens only about 2% time out of the year. What students and that they should understand is that a lot of their due dates are posted, days ahead, weeks ahead, months ahead. And they are beginning to procrastinate and just push all the work until the last minute. But we do understand sometimes things, caught up with us that, or some circumstance or some kind of event or some students are going to that we didn't know. We make adjustments to that. But 98% of the time, it has really been, again, they should have paced out their work to make sure that it does not all come down to them on one day or one, particular, week where all their work is coming down upon them. So if they piece it up and work on it, they should be okay. And just remember, I just want to say in closing, probably because I don't know if any of you parents have lasted with me, and I love all you parents. STEM parents are the best, STEM students are the best. They're just the best, and I keep on saying that all the time, and I say that in a sincere way. Please just contact me today, next week, or whenever it may come up any time. And it may be, you might think that it's not, you don't want to bother me or something like that, or you're just asking a question that you did not understand once the students are telling you about what the course and the syllabus is about, or that the grading or the testing, how does this, course works as credit. Kids don't have to pay for the AP test, which is they're going to take May 6th in 2021. North Carolina pays for that. But it may be just some kind of question like that, or any kind of concern that you want to point out to me to make me understand a little bit better before I start coming down on your son or daughter if they're having some challenges in my class. Okay, so I just love that. We're all going to do some kind of Zoom open house in a way too, but this is just something for me to interpret the letters that I'm sending out to you and the expectations I'm sharing with the students today. You guys have a good weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and I do love you all, and I do appreciate your time, commitments, and kind of bearing with us during these times, and I wish the best for you. Stay sane, stay healthy, stay safe, and I wish all of you the very best this school year, and I'm so excited, even though it's a different type of school year, to be teaching your son or daughter. So excited. I just cannot wait. All right? Take it easy and see ya.